I absolutely love this story. This story made my day. Fake lawyers arrested in Kenya, including brilliant con artist who won 26 straight cases. Wait until you hear the details of this. Kenyan authorities arrested. Here, let me actually show you a picture before we get into it. So this is him wearing his lawyer outfit. In a bunch of countries, lawyers still, judges and I guess lawyers sometimes too, wear these like goofy old school outfits. But anyway, this is the guy right here. I'll see if I got another picture for you. Yeah, another one right here. Looks like a model in this one. Another picture here. Okay. So anyway, now let me tell you what's going on. Kenyan authorities arrested 2 people masquerading as lawyers in recent days, including one who racked up an impressive courtroom winning streak after allegedly stealing the identity of a real attorney. All right, so that, to me, that seems like the actual crime here. We'll come back to that. The first fake lawyer, who used the name of real lawyer Brian Mwenda, had won all 26 cases he handled in various courtrooms, while posing as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, despite being untrained. Wow. The Nigerian Tribune reported Friday, the Law Society of Kenya Nairobi branch rapid action team arrested the con artist attorney after they received tips that he did not have a law license. It has been brought to the attention of the LSK Nairobi branch through the rapid action team that the man has been presenting and conducting himself as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and a member of LSK Nairobi branch, the group posted on Twitter Friday. Mwenda, whose real name was not revealed, had achieved something of a folk hero status in certain corners of the East African country after coverage of his ruse elicited everything from outrage to amusement. So anyway, like I said, here's some more pictures. Kenya's Organization of Trade Unions reportedly praised the imposter as a brilliant young mind who has succeeded without traditional qualifications. Mike Sonko, a former governor of Nairobi, who was removed from office after being entangled in corruption charges, also offered his support, posting a video with the purported fraudster. In the clip, Sonko called the accused fake lawyers' detractors nincompoops and noted that he's never killed anyone. He's not a terrorist. Well, that's not the charge. The charge isn't that he's a terrorist. Sonko then gave the alleged imposter a platform to address the public. Quote, I would like to convey my gratitude to the people that are supporting me and praying for me. In the fullness of time, I will be able to clear this misunderstanding. I will also be able to provide my innocence and provide the actual context. The LSK Nairobi branch, through the Rapid Action Team and the president of Law Society of Kenya with the support of Capitol Hill police station officers, nabbed a notorious masquerader. Anyway, so I think you get the gist of it. So look, to me, the only, like, the real crime here is stealing the identity of a real attorney. But then the question becomes like, what are the real facts behind that, right? You know what this reminds me of? Remember the show Mad Men, where, spoiler alerts here, but Don Draper is actually named Dick Whitman, and he went to the military, and he was with somebody named Don Draper who was killed, and so he switched the dog tags of that guy and him, and he took the identity Don Draper and pretended like Dick Whitman died in the war, and so then, and he was able to desert the army by doing that, and so, like, it's a crime that he, like, stole an identity, but the dude's already dead, and he did it to get out of fighting in a war he didn't believe in, and so, like, the crime is desertion. It's a serious crime, but should it be, right? Like, should that be? And, like, in that scenario, you kind of sympathize with him, right? Like, yeah, I kind of see why you changed your identity. You wanted to get out of there. And it's like, okay, how did you steal homie's identity? Is this a lawyer that passed away that you took his identity? Or is it somebody whose identity you stole and they're actively, like, don't know somebody's going around pretending they're them? Like, what's the backstory there? Because that's the real crime, is the stolen identity thing. That seems unacceptable to me. But in terms of it's like a Catch Me If You Can situation. Remember that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, which is based on somewhat of a true story, where, like, he was like a pilot and did all these things, and he never had any formal training. He just, like, faked his way to the top. And when you hear this, you think, 26 straight cases won, no formal training as a lawyer. And my takeaway is, goddamn, the law is fake. All you need is, like, a smooth-talking attorney, and everybody's like, yeah, I agree with that guy. It reminds me of, I think I've told this story on air before, but in, like, what grade was it? It had to be, like, 6th grade or 7th grade. We had some mock trial, and I was one of the attorneys, and the attorney on the other side, she's this sweet girl who was kind of nerdy, and she did all this preparation for the trial and had her arguments ironclad and went through it one by one by one, and I didn't prepare at Oh, and she delivered her thing. I got in front of the class, and I bullshit my way through it like nobody's business. And then at the end of the mock trial, the entire classroom sided with me. When this poor girl did the prep, she did the preparation. She was ready. Like, she actually did a lot of hard work. But it all came down to just like a charisma contest, right? It all came down to, who do you like more, Kyle or this girl? And the class liked me more, and they were like, we're going to go with him. And I was just able to bullshit my way through it. And I remember thinking at the time, like, Jesus, that's unfair. Like, I was shocked that I won. And it's the same thing here. Homie won 26 straight cases, no formal legal training. And it's like, are we really supposed to believe the law is, like, perfect? Are we really supposed to believe that this system is, like, infallible? It's like, no, in many instances, it's made up. Who's got the better lawyer? Who's more charismatic? Who can poke holes in arguments the best? Like, the truth has no real bearing on what happens in many instances. And look, I don't know. Here's my take. I don't know if it's controversial. I'd like for them to investigate the stolen identity thing, because that's a real crime. If, you could prove that there's some malicious intent there and there was a set of facts that's unacceptable, you can lock them up on that front. But if what happened there is like some dude was dead and he took his name and nobody really got hurt, and then he also won these 26 straight cases and he was pretending to be a lawyer, just give him the law degree. Just give him the law degree. He knows what he's good. He knows what he's doing, right? Like, he's good at this. And so, I don't know. I'm not mad. I actually find it rather amusing. It's just funny. I actually agree with the former prime minister or whatever who was like, hey, he's not a terrorist. He didn't kill anybody. It's like, true. This is like the legal equivalent of jaywalking in some ways. And by the way, why would you do that? It's like the catch me if you can thing. It's a lot of work to pretend to be the thing you're trying to pretend to be. If you put all of this energy into just getting the law degree in the first place, you could have been a phenomenal lawyer. You are a phenomenal lawyer even without that. Imagine if you did that too. So anyway, hilarious story. I'm leaning on the side of, you probably give him a pass. Give him a pass. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.